Okay, and then after we're going to try to go to the board.
I ain't got no time.
Appreciate you. Lift it up for you so we get good audio. Sorry, you're our first one, so I made the little adjustment.
You're good. You're good.
Good. Sure. Cool. I guess it's kind of opening day for another season, right? I mean, what's the feel like? Any different this time around?
I feel like I should have a belt around my waist coming into this. Other than that, I'm the main event spot starting out the season, right? So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, last year, didn't get to where you ultimately wanted to go, but you had a couple of big results along the way, right? So, I mean, how do you feel overall about kind of performance and the experience last season?
I feel like I was the most exciting fighter in my weight class. I feel like I didn't lose a fight last year, so I'm coming in here with I feel like I got a chip on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got something to prove, so I'm looking to prove it.
It's interesting, right? Because like a lot of times, when it's not a season format, like you come in like trying to prove it in one fight, right? But you're trying to prove it over the course. So do you think that's a chip that like you'll kind of have with you the whole season, or is it like, no, I got to kind of get this off my, get it done?
No, I'm gonna have that chip on my shoulder till me and Raush go at it again. So, I'm gonna line him up. I'm gonna knock him down until I get to him.
That's a fight that has to happen again.
I believe so.
You want it in the regular season, or do you want it when like there's a belt on the line or the playoffs, or does it?
Honestly, man, I don't give a shit when it happens. I just want it to happen. So.
Very nice. In between, you did some more boxing again, right? I mean, what is it? You just can't you can't sit still, or is that to like sharpen the skills, or to keep active? What was the play there?
Yeah, I should have fought for $1 million, man. I like living expensive, I guess, because I freaking, just keeping the skill sharp, keeping me entertained, bouncing back and forth, something I like to do. So.
Part of me that like tell the promoters over there, like, can I not get like the biggest stud upcoming prospects you have? Maybe
yeah, ain't nobody will fight me, man. So I've already beat up all the best prospects. Now they have to give me the better of the best, I guess. So.
Respect. All right, well, back to PFL now. Like you said, you're in the main event slot, man. I mean, Jeremy Stephens. It's just the perfect first fight, because it seems like the perfect first fight for you, for him, for the PFL. I mean, were you excited about this matchup at all?
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. I've been saying it. The promotion's smart. They picked the best banger right out the gate. So they did the same thing last year. So I'm excited. I'm extremely excited, and I'm looking forward to the test.
Does it feel similar to last time, where it's like you're the opponent? Oh no, I'm not the opponent. Like I'm actually going to make some waves.
No, man. I keep telling everybody I'm the big name. I guess some people haven't caught on yet, but I'm the big name. I feel like I'm the big name. I told you last year I was the big name. Y'all, that's who I am. I'm a superstar. So
I love it. Last thing for me, I guess, is just kind of what you expect to see on paper. This looks like it's going to be absolute fireworks. I think it's going to be one the fans don't want to miss. I mean, are you expecting an absolute war? Or is it something you can go dominate and get done quickly? What type of fight do we see here?
I'm just gonna be technical, go out there and do my thing, man. I'm not worried about what he's doing. We're just trying to come home with the win, so I'm gonna fight smart and I'm gonna come home with the win. I'm always exciting, so of course it's gonna be exciting. I'm always excited.
Clay, the word robbery gets thrown out a lot in MMA. Do you feel like you were robbed last year?
Yes, sir. I feel like I handled that fight. I was up 2 rounds at least. I almost choked him out in the second. Took him down, took his back. I busted his face up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what fight those judges were watching, because it wasn't the fight I was in. So.
What were the emotions like after that night?
Just a big letdown, man. Yeah, just I still got a bad taste in my mouth from it.
How does it feel to headline the first open debut of 2022 regular season? What are the feelings like?
I'm excited. I feel like I'm the main event fighter, so yeah, I'm excited. I feel like it's where I belong.
And finally, do you finally feel like you're getting the respect that you always wanted, and the fans are finally getting behind Clay Collard?
I mean, I am who I am, man. I do what I do, and I love this shit. So, whether or not the fans are behind me, I believe I'm a superstar. I love my fans, and I hope they are behind me, and I hope they put a little respect on my name now, for sure.
Hey Clay, you said you are a big name, and your true fans know who the fighting Collards are. You come from a fighting family, so you stay active, whether it's in boxing or MMA. Your younger brother as well. Do you feel like you're they want to put you up against the not bigger names, but new fighters coming in like they did with you with Anthony. Now they're doing introducing you with Jeremy.
I feel like they're doing that and making good matchups. Yeah. Anytime my clout can go up a little bit, I'm stoked. So let's go in there and let's get it done, and let's put a little more clout to my name, man. I'm all about it.
I mean, it is a great matchup, but I think it would be a great matchup, if it was for a title or somewhat, or even for the $1 million.
Yeah, maybe we'll meet again. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna start off the season. Maybe we'll end the season off the same way. I don't know. I don't know how the season's gonna play out. All I know is I plan on being there fighting for that championship belt.
And did you get to watch boxing this weekend?
Nah, I was here doing this.
So I wanted to see, what was your opinion on the Earl Spence and Yugas fight?
I saw the picture of the dude's eye all moused up. So, I mean, it looks like he got beat up a little bit. That's all I know.
Hey, Clay, you started last season, I believe, at about plus 15,000 when the tournament closed at about plus 240. Obviously, feeling like the champion coming in here, do you feel like the favorite overall, of course, to win?
Of course, man. I already told you I'm the superstar. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm big man on campus for sure. So I'm just ready and willing to go out there and prove it.
And lastly, for me, you faced some serious personal challenges in the last 15 months. I'm curious if you could shed some light on how you dealt with those tribulations, where your mindset is coming into this fight.
I just put my head down and work, man. There's not a day goes by that I don't think about my little brother. So I just try to be strong for my family and be an example,
Look at this great, dude. What's going on, man? You're getting old, dude. Like a superstar. We're at the long, man. We got three champs on this card.
Monte.
Well, I wish I guess the start of another season. What's the feel like? Beginning again.
Feel great. I love this format of the season. I had my time to rest, recovery, the little injuries. I know exactly when the first fight would be, like by the end of April. So easier to preparation when you know months and months before when the fight's gonna be. I love it.
Now that you've had some time to think about it, I mean, can you put into words what last year was like? I mean, just this insane story for you. What was the year like for you?
I can put in words. It's a feeling. It's a different feeling. It was like surprise and to return the show as an alternate. When I remember when Eduardo called me and told, "Oh, you're gonna return as alternate after Joilton because the Olivier Albins is gonna return to the show." And okay, but I knew I will be ready to fight anyone. And I returned to the hotel. The whole quarantine process was like this part has no words. And to return, be ready. My mindset like, okay, let's go next one. We need to win and finally playoffs to win and playoffs. And to the final was like, man, I'm gonna be the champion because the story was, helping me building this, and I was so happy and grateful, like I am right now. I'm living the life I always want to God to live. I was 13 years, I remember, and I was like, God, I want to one day be a professional fighter. I have no idea what is the price I need to pay, but when I see these guys walk and make you walk out in Pride FC, I was like, oh my gosh, one day I want to do that. And I had no idea what I'm asking for because the process is so hard. But I'm grateful I paid the price and I'm here.
It's amazing, man. So as last season was happening, along the way, were even you like, what the hell is going on here? Or were you like, see, I knew this. If I just had the chance, I could prove to the world. Which one was it?
Yes, so it's a mix, but I knew I was ready because my training partners in the spar sessions, I could see I was ready for anyone in the world. Because at the American Top Team, we train with the best guys in the world. So I have the confidence I could win against anyone and make good fights. But I need the opportunity and come with a loss before they step in the PFL. Didn't help him at all for 3 years. That was the reason. No one wanna fight me in the small leagues, and the big shows don't wanna contract me because of the defeat. So I was like, they wanna fight me. So how can I score a victory? So, but then God, everything changed. God opened this door where I has no wall. I usually say because PFL as an alternate to come to the PFL was a better show in the world, in my opinion. And you gave me this opportunity, and I really put everything I had. I gave my best, like I will give my best this year again.
So what's your attitude coming in this time? Is it, I'm a champion and I'm defending every time I go in there? Or is it, I'm starting from scratch and I got to build?
No, yeah, I think it's better for myself when I one step by time. I was the champion 2021. 2022, I am the challenger again. I have this fire. I'm hungry to build this up again and grab another belt. I'm not defending nothing. I was champion in 2021. Now I want to be the champion again. So challenger again, step by step. My focus now is Don Madge. So first step, first fight, first step. Let's thinking about the next one in the next moment.
Last thing for me, I guess, can you talk about Don? He's kind of an interesting guy, right? He's had some success, but like you, he's struggled to get fights and that sort of thing. So what do you think about him overall?
Yeah, he's a pretty tough guy, taller than me. He's a good striker, good jiu-jitsu also. He showed in the same day I fought in the finals. He's a dangerous guy, but I think I read it to him. My advantage against him, I think physically I am a stronger, explosive, If you punch together, I think I make him walk back. And I'm my attitude for this fight and try knocking out soon. In the first round, I want to finish this. I will really push. I think because the last camp was 5 rounds. When you return to fight 3 rounds, it's not easier, but you can every round go a little bit better. So my 3 rounds are super explosive and good. Then I die. But the 3 rounds are super good. It's different than fight 5 rounds. You can go. No, you're gonna die. So, but for 3 rounds, we did it. So I'm ready to fight him, respect him a lot. Great opponent, like everyone else in the show. and I really hope I was the main event. I really wish I was the main event because I think make more sense. But we're gonna make a show. Doesn't matter what.
Raush, you kind of touched on it. How disappointed are you that you aren't the main event?
Man, at the first moment, I was upset that this pissed me off. I was like, man, I told the sponsorship we are the first main event, and now they put it as a common event. But it doesn't matter. The strategy for the fight, by the end of the day, is the same. We need to go there and win. And but this don't change my mind, of course. Just the first moment, I was a little bit sad. I was like, man, it was my first main event, and now come main event. But God knows everything. I can't complain nothing. I'm just grateful, and I need to be there and strong and do my job. Doesn't matter if it's in preliminary card or main event. The goal is the same.
Clay said that he felt like you guys' fight was a robbery.
Mhm.
What's your response to that?
I was fighting an American and in USA. I won by unanimous decision. All his life history last year was like building for like he lost his brother. A lot of respect for this. I never will intimidate someone with something like that. But he had everything in his favor, and I rewatched the fight and I scored for me. He won the first round. I won the second and the third. I don't know why he's a crybaby, and he complained about that. I wish he will fight next. And he's a tough fighter. We need to respect that. He's a pretty tough fighter, and but I don't know what can I tell you. I won. I won. He's a crying. If they gave to the fight to him, I was not to be cry. It was a robbery. Close fight, and but he has the advantage. I never think like in the country in the show, and he's crying. I don't know why.
And finally, for me, what was the first thing you bought with your $1 million?
I think the nice thing I bought it was my car. Yeah, I make the research. I choose the seat colors in the car, and it was nice. I make customize, the wrapping stuff in the car, and but that's it. The only gift I always wanted was the first new car ever I bought it. I never had a new car before, so but that's it. It was the nice thing I bought it. And even win this year, I'm not gonna buy another new car for sure. I'm satisfied, and I'm hungry but satisfied. Another Floyd Mayweather.
What kind of car was it?
Well, a G70, a Genesis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, 12 years with Mrs. Manfio. Can you tell me the biggest way she's influenced your career?
12 years of what? I'm sorry.
With your wife. You recently
Yes. So he's the main reason. So for I start my professional career because when I told her I was 18 years when we first met, and when I told her, I have this dream, and I want to move to Rio de Janeiro and train with the legends, the guy who I love, Anderson Silva, Minotauro, but I don't know anyone there. I don't know where can I stay, but if I go there, you move to live with me. And after 1 year we were dating, I decided to go, and she come after me like after 6 months, and she gave me strength, in the worst moment when nothing makes sense, when we didn't make any money, when you need to work to pay your rent, when you live in favela, and you have someone to really support you. So she's my number one support, and forever. When career is over, she's the number one person in my life.
Do you guys have any traditions that you celebrate year over year with your anniversary? Any specific things to your guys' relationship?
When we used to live in Brazil, yes,
Yeah.
we have this tradition, the same restaurant once a year, But right when we moved to here, we're struggling so much, even living better like it used to live in Brazil. And now we are planning to travel after this season over, and for our anniversary is like October 31st. I think. If I remember, it's that date. And I don't know, maybe go to Europe, something nice like that. But we have no more tradition since we moved here.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Having gone through the gauntlet of a season and knowing what it takes to win the championship, you feel like you have an advantage the second time around?
No, not advantage. I think everything is new year, we need to start building up everything again. Every fight is different. Like I'm very, very curious to feel how strong Don Madge is, after we used to say after the first punch we know each other. So and with the last fight was October, so 6 months. So it's not it's a long time. So I think I'm curious to feel how we're gonna feel.
Has anything changed within the training camp and the way that you approach the fights? You know, how you did last year and you won them, 4 decisions.
No, I repeat the process, but now I spend more time recovering. Like I brought my mother-in-law to help with the kids, so she's helped my wife, so I couldn't sleep more. My body's more relaxed. I feel this kind of stuff, basically stuff, but super important. I did this a couple changes, but in the camp specifically, just the strategy for the fight, and because he's a southpaw, we need to train with southpaw guys. But that's it. We keep doing what works last year.
I know you have talked this before in the past, but what actually will happen if you have to fight Natan?
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys are very friendly and everything. So this is not usually in the MMA, like brothers fighting,
Yeah.
So how do you guys see the competition?
Yeah, the only situation I accept fighting him is in the final. Make no sense for me at all fighting him in another occasion. If he was a champion in another show, I would never challenge him. But because the format of the show, we need to. If everything goes right, we're gonna see each other in the final. So that's it.
Thank you.
Finish. Os.
I'm going to talk
Portuguese.
yeah.
I don't speak Portuguese.
Natan, eles estão muito apertados de tempo. Posso fazer vocês dois juntos em português? So I'm going to do them together in Portuguese very quickly so you guys can talk to him in English, okay?
Are you sure? I wouldn't mind.
No, they are going to come.
You want to hear?
Posso ir, pessoal?
Pode.
3, 2... Fala, galera da G-Fight, Diego Ribas aqui em Dallas, no Texas. Olha só com quem? Natan e Raush, 2 brasileiros campeões do PFL. Primeira pergunta. Muita gente apareceu procurando por um empréstimo depois que ganharam o prêmio?
Pra caramba. É o que mais aparece, né? Às vezes é melhor até dar o dinheiro do que emprestar.
Não, aparece muita gente. Eu já tinha até comentado com o Raush, né, um pouquinho antes da luta dele, que é um negócio meio chato, né? Não chato assim, né? Mas muita gente aparece e, tipo, meio que sem noção, né?
Chato não é. É melhor ter e dizer não.
Sim, claro.
Exatamente. Eu falo, é um bom problema, né? É um bom problema de ter.
Qual a maior loucura que vocês fizeram com o prêmio? Natan ganhou 2 milhões, para quem não sabe, eu acho que ano passado, 1 milhão. Qual a maior loucura que vocês fizeram gastando dinheiro?
Não loucura, mas eu digo assim, eu comprei um carro que eu queria.
Qual carro?
Um Genesis, um G70. Carro daqui, carro irado. E aí mandei colocar o wrap nele, assim, né? Todo customizado, com cavalo de guerra e tal.
Pagou à vista?
Não, parcelado, né? Aqui os juros é bem baixinho. Então o cara fica rico, mas não desperdiça dinheiro, né? Mas foi, acho que a única coisa assim, que eu comprei legal, que eu falei, que diferente, foi o carro. De resto, dinheiro investido e cabeça no lugar, né? Nada de loucura.
Eu também não tive nada, tipo assim, que vou comprar alguma coisa muito cara, mas eu lembro que logo depois da luta, assim, eu tava passeando, eu gosto de, tipo, bonecos de ação, assim, tipo, esses Funko Pop, esses bonecos, essas action figure. Aí eu me lembro que eu gastei, acho que $600, assim, numa loja, assim, num stores, assim, e foi o que eu mais gastei, assim, eu só acho que eu saí com uns 100 bonecos de lá.
Eu dei uns 500 bonecos na casa dele. É uma parede só de
isso, de super-herói.
Faz coleção.
Sim, isso.
Bom, para essa temporada, você em específico, você que ano passado, quando você entrou como suplente, esse ano você vem como campeão. Todo mundo já conhece o seu jogo. Natan passou pela mesma coisa, depois de ganhar 2 vezes, todo mundo conhecia o seu jogo. Queria ver como você se prepara para isso e, Natan, que dica você poderia dar agora que vocês são os alvos?
Eu acho que a questão de a pessoa saber meu jogo não atrasa ela de... Como é que eu posso dizer? É difícil, você pode saber o que eu vou fazer, mas é difícil me parar. Então a questão toda é essa, né? Fazer aquilo que você faz tão bem feito que a pessoa, ainda que saiba, não consiga te parar, né? E arroz com feijão bem feito, não tem muito mistério, né? Cada vez mais forte fisicamente, se preparando, tendo mais explosivo nas lutas. Então, a questão de ser uma estratégia simples, no meu caso, vamos dizer assim, a gente treinou algumas coisas novas, é claro, para surpreender, mas a questão é parar, né? É tentar me parar, né? Então, fazer isso cada vez melhor para que ninguém consiga me parar aí.
É, isso que ser campeão, o cara luta geralmente com um alvo nas costas, né? Que todo mundo vai estudar bastante o campeão, né? E se preparar bem, mas acho que é o que o Raush falou, né? Tu se preparar tão bem para que... É que nem quando eu assistia, todo mundo sabe que o Khabib ia derrubar, mas ninguém conseguia parar as quedas dele. Então acho que é do mesmo jeito, né? Tu conseguir imprimir o teu jogo, né? Imprimir algumas coisas novas, mas que o teu adversário não consiga resistir à tua pressão, os teus golpes, a tua finalização, né?
Certo. Bom, muita gente já perguntou se vocês lutariam, vocês já falaram que só lutariam na final, a final valendo $1 milhão, por que não? Mas a minha pergunta é, vocês, mesmo com essa possibilidade, vocês continuam se ajudando, continuam treinando juntos, conhecendo um jogo do outro, mesmo com a possibilidade de talvez no final do ano vocês se enfrentarem?
Claro. Não, é que muita coisa tem que acontecer para que a gente possa lutar, né? Então, quando acontecer, porque a gente trabalha para que isso aconteça, que se eu for lutar com ele, nós dois temos que estar vitoriosos nas próximas 3 lutas. Então, para isso acontecer, tudo tem que dar certo. Então, a gente vai ter que criar uma nova estratégia aí no campo da final, aí você vai para um lado, eu vou para o outro. Só te vejo depois para a gente jantar. Mas, por enquanto, a gente se ajuda. Essa luta a gente não se ajudou porque ele está com canhoto, eu também vou lutar com canhoto, então a gente teve outros parceiros de treino, mas é sempre assim, né? Muita coisa tem que acontecer para que nós possamos estar lutando um contra o outro, né? Então, a realidade não tem por que parar de se ajudar. E a gente foca aí para fortalecer um ao outro, né?
A gente não parou, né? A gente só nesse camp que não treinou tanto por conta dos dois adversários estarem lutando com canhoto, né? Mas a gente já treina tanto tempo junto, né? Que eu falo, pô, tu vai fazer o que de novo que eu não vou saber, e eu vou fazer o que de novo que tu não vai saber, né? Então é isso daí.
Para finalizar, então, sobre as regras, né? O formato não é muito usual no Brasil, principalmente nessa primeira rodada, se vencer mais rápido, faz mais pontos, qual a importância disso? Mas, ao mesmo tempo, a ideia é como vão fazer 4 lutas no ano, não se machucar. Como balancear isso?
Então, eu, nessa temporada, eu tô vindo com a cabeça mais de terminar as lutas, né? A primeira temporada eu tava, mas preciso ganhar, não interessa o quê. Porque eu queria garantir o meu lugar como titular para esse ano, né? Porque a promessa era o seguinte, faça uma luta, ganhe, e a gente coloca como titular em 2022. Então, eu não tava pensando no torneio, só tava pronto para que as coisas, Deus abrisse a porta, eu realmente pegasse a oportunidade. Esse ano eu tô um pouco mais arisco, vamos dizer assim, que eu quero terminar as lutas mesmo, né? Aumentar a porcentagem de finalização das lutas aí. Já estou ganhando aí as últimas 5, 6 lutas por pontos, faz tempo que eu não nocauteio ninguém. Então eu estou mais disposto a arriscar esse ano, e eu sei que eu corro os mais riscos, mas eu também me torno um lutador bem mais perigoso. Então, esse ano, por estratégia minha, por decisão minha, eu vou tentar nocautear nas lutas, independente do sistema do PFL quanto dar bônus de ponto, né? Isso é uma coisa que eu vou tentar.
Eu acho que o atleta sempre quer terminar, independente desse formato que a gente está, mas sempre quer terminar pela via mais rápida, né? Finalização ou nocaute. Mas nesse específico, nessa season, né, do ano passado, a gente tem que terminar a luta um pouco antes. Então, por fato de não ser mais tantos atletas e não ter as 2 lutas na noite, né? Então, acredito que buscar a finalização é o melhor, mas tem que deixar acontecer, né? Não adianta a gente buscar e às vezes acabar se frustrando no meio do decorrer da luta, né?
Só vou rapidinho bater uma foto aqui individual, depois eu vou os dois juntos. Vou gravar um vídeo de 5 segundos para vocês juntos, é bem rápido, pessoal. Zoom. Natan. Aquele abraço aí dos dois, nossa. Vídeo de 10 segundos falou, eu sou Natan, sou Raush, estou aqui em Dallas. Convido o pessoal para assistir a luta de vocês na quarta-feira. 3, os dois juntos, tá? 3, 2, 1.
Tá, galera, Raush Manfio aqui.
Aí, galera, Natan, aqui na área, convidando vocês para assistir a luta na próxima quarta-feira, no PFL.
Nossa.
Valeu, gente.
Valeu. Boa. Depois eu vou lá, só vou fazer aqui.
He's going to
answer them in English.
English?
He just wants, yeah.
Just so you can clarify if you need anything.
That, and he wants the questions in Portuguese too. So I'll
Got it.
translate your question.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, I guess first, just kind of a frustrating year last year. The season was a little different. So I guess, how did you deal with all the changes and things of last season?
Um pouco frustrante, né? O ano de 2021. Como é que você lida aí com esse ano e com o ano passado, na verdade, né? E com as mudanças aí nessa temporada?
Yes, this last years is a little bad for me, but the same moment is I was happy because Raush was champion, a lot of stuff in my life. My daughter's born in the last year, but this year I'm waiting for fighting the PFL again, for to be a champion.
Nice. Were there any lessons or changes you can make because of last season, or is that just the sport of MMA is crazy sometimes?
Alguma lição que você aprendeu aí com o que aconteceu no passado, ou você só toma isso como bola para frente, um esporte maluco e é isso?
No, just I didn't fight very well, not 100%, not like 2018, 2019, but this year I'm very angry, for fighting like a shark in the ground, finish my opponents,
Talk about this first matchup with Olivier, what you think of him as an opponent, and is this a fight you wanted to schedule again?
O que você acha do Olivier como oponente? É uma luta que você tinha interesse em remarcar, considerando aí que era uma luta no undercard dos playoffs no passado?
Yes, I suppose fight with against Olivier in the last year, but Olivier is a great opponent. He's a very tough, but in my opinion, I can finish this fight,
I guess last thing for me, because of your past, is the only thing that is success is if you are a champion, and anything less is failure, or can you have success even if you're not able to be a champion again?
Considerando o seu passado aqui com a PFL, como é que você mede o sucesso? Sucesso é ser campeão, qualquer coisa que não seja ser campeão significa que você falhou? Ou o sucesso pode ser uma outra coisa? Pode ser um vice-campeonato ou algum outro resultado aqui?
Yeah, this is a tough question, but I was very good in that time, 2018, 2019. That moment at my moment, but this year I can be a champion, I can fight very well, I can finish my opponents, my all opponents. Yeah.
You're a very faith-based individual. I was curious, was there one specific moment in your life where you felt like the Lord was telling you, go into MMA as opposed to any other avenues?
Você é homem de fé, né? Lida muito com a fé. Teve algum momento na sua vida que você sentiu assim, essa chamado, uma voz interior falando MMA no seu esporte?
Yeah, I'm Christian like since my 15, 14 years old, and I pray like every day, and in that moment, I pray for Jesus. Jesus, after start training, after fight professional, I pray for, hey, Jesus, you need to help me, because you need to open the door for me. I need to travel to USA. I want training in American top team. I want fighting the big events, and after pray a lot, after 2 or 3 years, like pray every day, Jesus open the door for me, Jesus opened the door and I come into USA to American top team, and Jesus changed my life, changed everything, now I'm a champion, a former champion, but I have my house with my family, my daughter, this is great. Thank you, by the grace of God.
With all the success you had in 18 and 19, racking up 10 wins, what changed in 21 where you said, you lost a decision to Marcin and then you pick up another win? So now it's like you got to get that momentum going again.
O seu sucesso aqui em 2019 e 2018, o que você sentiu que mudou em 2021? Pelo Raul, enfim, a sua decisão, a derrota por decisão e depois a vitória por decisão.
The last year is a little tough, but I start fight against Marcin like in the first round a little lazy, but in the second, the third round I was good, but in this year I can finish everyone, for fights against me,
Yeah, you won 10 fights in a row up to that point. I mean, you win the next fight. Is it a different approach this season? Like you want to start hungry again, or is it just back to the same mindset where you're winning all those fights?
Você ganhou 10 seguidos. Até o início do ano passado, você iniciou esse Natan que volta. Agora é outro ano, outra mentalidade, outra forma de ver.
I improve my game, I improve my skills, and I'm a better fight, my last fight like 1 year ago, I'm very angry for fight again, for go to the octagon and finish somebody, All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good English.
Thank you.
Thank you. What improved the most out of your game?
English.
Definitely.
We'll bring you up. I'll bring this up just a little bit so the audio is clean. No, you're good. You can say. I guess last season overall kind of mixed results for you. I guess how did you feel about your performance and the season?
No, it's too much better for this season. I don't stop the training. I fight my last fight in I think in August, but I'm alternate for the final. It's in October or final October, or the November, and keep training every day. I'm feeling good for this fight for this season.
Entering the season, does it feel different at all? Like, not maybe having the championship, or does it feel different?
No. For me, fight this fight, fight in the tournament, outside the tournament, fight this fight. But now it's a new opponent. He changed my opponent in the last 3 days. I don't know, but it's a different fight. But again, fight is fight. I like fight.
We were a little surprised to see the change in opponent. Did it change your approach? I mean, did you try to change your game plan and strategy?
Yeah, 100%. My Joshua Silveira, the last opponent is a wrestler, guys, and now he's a striker and jiu-jitsu. But I think I like a fight. I think Corey and me is the same style, but the difference is maybe I think I have a more power.
Very nice. So when you kept training, after the last season, was there one thing that you focused on the most, or was it anything in particular?
¿En qué enfocaste? O si enfocaste en algo en tu tiempo que no estaba entrenando para esta pasada?
Yeah, I put more focus in my condition and a little more in my ground. It's a wrestling or my grappling. Grappling and jiu-jitsu.
Last thing for me, I guess, it's one fight at a time. But do you change anything this year in your approach for the season as a whole to try to get back to the top?
I switch everything. I moved before I lived in San Diego and now moved to Florida. You know, I switch my gym, coach, everything. My house.
Emiliano, ¿cómo va todo?
Bien, todo tranquilo.
Semana de la pelea, bien, todo bien.
Sí, me quedan 10 kilos, 10 libras o 5 kilos arriba, así que nunca es fácil, pero sí un poco más cómodo.
Te cambian al rival. Cuéntanos qué sucede ahora, ¿cambias de estilo de pelea, de plan de juego o es lo mismo, no importa quién sea?
Antes me iban a querer derribar y pegar en el piso y ahora me van a querer pegar solamente de pie. Así que la historia es siempre la misma, ¿no? Es pelear, pero bueno, sí cambia un poco la modalidad con la que voy a pelear.
Ya fuiste campeón en esta promoción. ¿Sientes tú que tienes que recordarle a los rivales como que ya tú eres de la élite, que ya estás aquí hace mucho tiempo, o la gente te nota ese respeto? Lo siento.
Yo creo que entre todos nos respetamos, campeones o no, porque yo siempre digo, mientras tenga 2 manos y 2 piernas, claro, la persona es peligrosa. Y yo supongo que ellos ya vieron que yo fui campeón y que puedo hacerlo de vuelta. Así que sí, creo que algo de respeto hay.
¿Sientes tú que con tus actuaciones acá en PFL puedes abrirle las puertas a más peleadores latinos y en especial a los argentinos?
La verdad que sí. Yo hoy en día, a ver, obviamente quiero ser campeón de vuelta, claro, pero mi foco también está puesto en eso. Me gustaría ver a más latinos en PFL y, ¿por qué no, llevar a PFL para Latinoamérica? Algún país, Argentina, claro, Brasil.
Bueno, te iba a preguntar, por ahí firmaron Dominance a Esteban Ribovic. ¿Tú crees que él sería un buen peleador para PFL?
Ella tiene contrato con otro evento. Yo fui el que lo hice firmar.
Oh.
Somos compañeros de entrenamiento en Argentina. Sí. Y yo fui el que lo hice firmar con Dominance y ella tiene contrato con otra empresa.
Oh, mira, qué bien, sorpresa. ¿Algunas palabras que le quieras dedicar a la gente que te va a ver esta temporada?
No, muchas gracias por estar siempre pendiente. El público latino siempre está ahí empujando. Así que bueno, a los chicos que entrenan MMA en Latinoamérica, que no aflojen, que sigan entrenando, que va a llegar la hora.
Gracias.
Fazer em português.
Pode ser.
Só um pouquinho para cá, por favor. Aí. 3, 2, 1. Fala, galera do G-Fight, Diego Ribas direto de... Fala, galera do G-Fight, Diego Ribas direto de Dallas, no Texas, com Emiliano Sordi. Tudo bom, Emiliano?
Tudo bem, tudo bem.
Argentino que fala português como poucos. Já foi campeão de uma temporada da PFL e ano passado bateu na trave ali, né? Primeira pergunta. O que você fez com o dinheiro do cheque de $1 milhão? Fez alguma loucura? Gastou com alguma coisa?
Não, na verdade eu gastei nada. Tipo, loucura, nada. O dinheiro tá aqui, eu não preciso de muito dinheiro assim para viver. Meu estilo de vida é bem tranquilo, né? Eu estou usando a mesma roupa que os últimos 3 anos, eu acho. Então, o dinheiro está seguro aqui.
Esse tipo de formato, esse tipo de premiação, você já passou por alguns eventos com o Belo, já lutou no Django no Brasil. Esse tipo de premiação de formato te agrada? É uma grande opção para o mundo fora o UFC?
Para mim é muito melhor. Para mim é muito melhor, porque aqui tipo é meritocracia, né? Você tem que ganhar para continuar. Não precisa estar falando mistério de alguém assim para subir. Aqui você ganha e vai subir. Então, para mim é perfeito, porque eu não gosto de falar para o lutador, né? Para mim todo mundo tá tudo de boa, todo mundo amigo aqui.
Show, ano passado, você, como eu disse, bateu na trave ali com o cara de sapato, um brasileiro. E ele terminou sendo campeão. Você esperava que ele fosse campeão? Você já via ele como grande adversário na temporada passada?
Eu já via ele como campeão. Porque depois da minha luta, né? Quando eu vi que ele vai lutar com o Hamlet, aí eu já sabia, porque o estilo, né, que tem o Hamlet só wrestler. E o wrestler lutar com o cara bom de jiu-jitsu é difícil. Então, já sabia que ele tinha muita possibilidade de ser campeão.
E esse ano ele veio como um dos grandes favoritos também.
Mas estou aqui.
E eu queria que você falasse como você vê ele como adversário para essa temporada.
Seria bom encontrar ele na final, né? Tipo, fazer um Argentina-Brasil na final seria bom.
O que seria de diferente?
Muito. Agora minha condição está muito melhor. Trabalhei muito mais, não parei de trabalhar depois da última luta com ele. Então, com certeza seria outra luta.
O que os fãs podem esperar do Emiliano em 2022?
O quê?
O que os fãs podem esperar de você em 2022?
Pode esperar? Vai ser, vou lutar igual que o 2019, né? Estou bem preparado, vou ser bem explosivo e vou para finalizar.
Para a temporada você mudou de camp, você está morando onde? Conta um pouco da sua academia.
Mudei tudo. Eu morava em San Diego lá. Na verdade, quando eu cheguei no ano passado, aí a academia fechou. Aí fiquei sem equipe para treinar. Treinava um dia aqui, outro dia lá, tipo andando todo dia. Então agora mudei para Flórida e tô treinando lá na Sanford. Tem muitos caras no meu peso, que o problema maior aqui é esse, né? Encontrar os caras pesados para treinar. E ali na academia agora tem uns 30.
Durinho treina lá também. Né?
Durinho tá lá também, sim.
Maravilha. Para finalizar, manda aquele abraço, a mensagem para os fãs brasileiros que vão ver esse vídeo na Fight, por favor.
Aí, um salve para vocês. Eu lutei muito lá no Brasil, adoro o povo brasileiro. Mais que vocês sempre me quiseram matar lá no Brasil, mas eu adoro vocês. Obrigado.
Deixa eu só bater uma foto, por favor. Eu vou gravar o vizinho 5 segundos, 10 segundos. O vídeo fala, por favor, eu sou Emiliano, toque PFL em Dallas, e aí manda um recado, convida a galera para assistir sua luta. 3, 2.
Fala galera, sou Emiliano Sordi, estamos aqui em Dallas para o primeiro evento da temporada do PFL. E aí vou passar para convidar vocês para ver na quarta-feira no ESPN.
Tá. Valeu, velho.
Obrigado.
Vamos te ver de novo. Boa luta, velho.
Obrigado. Stone? Thank you.
Hang on a second, right? Yeah.
Slightly taller in the light heavyweight division. A little bit bigger.
I guess, I mean, first, just what a weird couple of years for you. You know what I mean? We've kind of been following the ups and downs and everything you've been through. I guess, I mean, as you stand here today, how would you describe the last couple of years for yourself?
Frustrating, it was pretty frustrating, coming out of like an extreme lockdown, like almost signing a fight just before lockdown, getting locked down, getting a fight, getting it canceled, getting another fight, getting it canceled. And it's just like super frustrated, man. But like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like I'm in this promotion for a reason, and I'm super happy to be here. I'm super proud to be here and be the only African to be here, and I'm trying to represent my country and my continent.
A positive way of looking at it, I guess, during that time it was easy to be like, well, everything happens for a reason.
No, I was like, dude, fuck this shit.
All right, listen. So you do get to fight for the PFL. I mean, immediately, do you like, okay, this is home, this is perfect, I'm good now, or was it still like, we'll see how things are gonna go?
Like with anything, it's always like school fees you have to pay. Like you get in there, you don't really know your place. You're meeting everyone for the first time, and but the first fight went perfectly, and my first experience, other than me getting like horribly food poisoned, it was perfect. I had a great experience. Everyone here is super accommodating, super friendly, helpful. Fit like a glove.
Now we're here ready to start the season. I just wonder how exciting that must be for you, right? Because given the way things have been for you, to know that I can look on a calendar like I'm going to fight then, I'm going to fight then. I mean, like, is it like ideal for you?
That is like literally the perfect scenario. That's like all I've been wanting. Like with all my fight career, like just guys, give me like a year and just tell me like which dates I can book, and then I can plan my life around. And like now I can do that, and that's amazing because I'm a father now as well. I've got a wife. Like having a family and like being so unpredictable about when you have to travel, when you're going to be away, when you're going to be cutting weight, fight camp, all that stuff, now at least I can like plan my life, and we don't have to like be halted waiting for like, when's daddy going to get a fight? Like we know now already. So it's amazing.
Season's getting started. I guess when you look at the field, I could be fighting anybody, right? But the first matchup, I mean, Are you like, what the hell's happening? Or you're like, yeah, let's start with the top. I mean, what was your idea when that came at the matchup?
To be honest, like I was talking to my manager, and he was like, who would you like to fight first? I was like, I'd like to fight the champion first, please, because he's already done it. He's already climbed the mountain. He's already done it. You beat that guy, you're already ahead of the rest of the roster. So that was my thinking with this, and I do believe that I have the style to beat him. And I have the style to stop him. He's never been finished, and I believe I will finish him.
So what's the goal here, right? I mean, because you come in, you beat the champion. It's awesome, right? But that doesn't make you the champion. No. You got a long way to go. So, I mean, is it like, hey, we got to come in and do something special? Or is it like, let's just get a win and build? What's the plan?
Well, like even after my last fight, I didn't really celebrate much because I was like, well, you haven't won. That was just your entry into. You've just taken one step forward. And even after this, even beating Raush and beating the champ, I won't even be, you won't even see me partying or anything. I'm going to go straight to bed, get back on my flight, go back, start training, and look for the next one.
I love it. I guess last thing for me, I mean, when you play this thing out in your head, as you said, I mean, he's a tough guy, right? Not been finished. I mean, do you like, you feel confident that you can go do it? Or are you like, hey, man, this might be a back and forth kind of battle? What kind of fight do you think we see?
No, look, he's super tough. And he, like I said, he's the champ for a reason, and he's done it for a reason. He's gotten through 4 tough guys. And like I said, he's never been finished. But he hasn't fought a finisher like me. I have a 90% finish rate. I finish everybody, whether it's on the feet, on the ground. I'm ready to finish him, and I do believe I'll stop him within 15 minutes.
Hey Don, do you believe your PFL debut last year was a perfect introduction to who Don Madge is?
I think so. Yeah. I think you got to see a little bit of everything. As soon as I finished the fight, I went to my coach and I was like, oh, but I wanted to do this and I wanted to do this. And it was like so much more I wanted to do. And showcase, but obviously, you're just playing as the fight goes. But I do believe I showed quite a lot of my skill set, on the feet, on the ground. I wish I had a little bit more energy to do more. I was kind of like holding back a bit so that I didn't gas out because of being sick. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good performance.
Where did Magic Man come from?
By luck. So I was having a fight in Thailand, and someone that I knew from South Africa was in the crowd, and after the fight, she came to me and she was like, that was such a good fight. You should be Magic Madge. So I was like, that sounds pretty good. So I came back to South Africa and I was fighting for a South African K1 title. And I wrote down my name, Don Magic Madge. And the announcer, of course, got it wrong. And he calls me out. It was like, the Magic Man. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's going to stick now. And so ever since then, it's just kind of stuck. And it has like a cool ring to it. So I'm like, you know, you don't get to pick your nicknames, right?
Hey, Don, Cape Town's got a lot of history, of course, with South African presidents, Mandela, Island, all of that past. What does Cape Town's legacy mean to you, and how does it feel to represent them on this stage?
Well, you know, like I was saying before, that I'm the only South African and African to be on the card, you know, and before that, I was the only South African to have a successful debut in another organization, in my previous organization. So, you know, I feel like I'm paving the way for the next generation. I'm second, third generation for mixed martial arts in South Africa, and I believe the fourth and fifth generation, they get, you know, they've got like the footsteps, they've got like the path to go to now, and I'm just trying to bring that back to my country.
Last for me, South Africa is also known for being the world's largest producer of macadamia nuts. I'm curious, Don, do you have
Did not know that.
type of nut?
Damn, I didn't know that. I'm more of a pistachio man, but I like macadamia nuts too. My wife's Italian, so you know, pistachios and stuff. We go for that.
Best luck, Jam.
Thank you.
You feel any added pressure, you know, wanting to pave the way for your countrymen? You know, you being the first on this one, you know, you want to make your name known. You're going to be the co-main event. You feel there's more pressure?
Absolutely. You know, I welcome the pressure. You know, I want the pressure. That I honestly believe I perform best when I have like everything riding on it. You know, and that's why I was like, you know, I want this guy first, and I want to be the guy to do it. I want to prove everyone wrong. I want to be the underdog, and I want to come and do it for everyone else that's watching me and looking up to me.
For those that don't know you, do you feel like you have to make a statement in your fight against the champ?
You know, I think beating a guy who's already won it is a statement in itself, especially in your first fight of the season, to come out and beat the champ and finish the champ like I'm planning on doing, and being the first guy to finish him. You know, I think that'll be a statement within itself. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, transit? Transit? From what? But I mean, like total, it's like not just the questions. But
No, yeah.
do you mind going over there so we can pick up your audio then? That's awesome. Thanks, bro.
Do you want me?
No, it's not fine. Yeah, it's just because otherwise we won't get the audio. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Like first things first, it's kind of the new kid on the block, you know, the new one on the roster. I guess how does it feel to be here right now?
Enfim, o cara novo do pedaço, né? Como é que tá se sentindo também aqui?
Tô me sentindo muito bem, graças a Deus. Tô me sentindo em casa, como eu estava falando aqui pro Eduardo. Tô me sentindo em casa, já tô esperando por esse momento faz anos, então para mim não é uma coisa nova. Eu já mentalizava isso aqui na minha cabeça.
Feels great. Feels pretty normal. I feel at home. I've been having this feeling. I've been waiting for this moment for such a long time. I had it all mentalized. I had it all in my head. So it feels pretty normal.
That's awesome. Can you talk about the journey to get here? Because it was like, I think fighting like 7 years on the regional scene in Brazil, but only getting like 9 fights. So just, was it difficult to get fights, or was he just trying to take his time? What was that journey like?
Fala pouco da sua trajetória para chegar aqui. Foram, enfim, 7 anos lutando no circuito regional do Brasil. 7 anos lutando lá, mas com 9 lutas no total. Foi difícil arrumar luta? O que estava acontecendo? Era você querendo fazer as coisas no seu tempo?
É assim, a gente sempre procura as lutas certas, entendeu? Lutas boas, lutas de qualidade. A gente nunca procura por quantidade, mas sim por qualidade. No Brasil eu trabalho minha carreira assim, junto com o meu empresário Lucas Lutcos, nós trabalhamos desse jeito. Prezamos por qualidade e não por quantidade, entendeu?
So my manager Lucas and I, we look a lot at quality over quantity. So we want to find the right opponents, the right time. We don't want to rush anything. So that's kind of how I got here.
Very nice. A lot of quality of results as well. Like 7 first-round finishes. I mean, what's the key there? Is it aggression? Is it technique? Is it mindset? How has he been so successful?
Qualidade grande dos resultados também, né? 7 nocautes no primeiro round. Qual o segredo do sucesso?
A gente sempre na minha academia Evolução, tá? A gente sempre trabalha para finalizar a luta. Não queremos deixar a luta para os juízes, entendeu? Então a gente sempre busca a finalização, o nocaute. E também se for os 3 rounds, a gente também está preparado. Não tem essa não.
So my gym, my team, Evolução Thai, we go for the kill. It's knockout submission. We really don't want to see the fight go to the judges' scorecards. That said, we're ready for whatever comes our way.
Nice. So I know you're excited to be here. You get the first matchup. It's a fellow Brazilian. It's a champion. I mean, is that exciting? Is that like, couldn't you have given me anybody else? What's your thought?
Chegou aqui, primeira luta logo de cara com o campeão, né? Outro brasileiro. Como é que você vê isso? É uma coisa que te anima ou podia ter me dado outro oponente? Como é que desculpa, não de jeito nenhum. Era a luta que a gente queria, a luta que a gente estava esperando há tempos. Desde a hora que a gente recebeu o contrato, foi o que eu falei para Lucas. Não que eu tenha alguma rivalidade com ele, mas era a luta que eu queria logo o campeão de cara, entendeu? Para quando eu nocauteasse ele ou ganhasse dele nos pontos, o pessoal conhecesse meu nome, porque eu vim para ser campeão. Meu nome é Delan Monte, da Paraíba, e eu vim para ser campeão. Not at all. It's quite the opposite, actually. This is the fight we wanted when we signed the contract and when we saw Antonio become champion. I texted my manager Lucas and I told him this is the fight I want. And no disrespect to him, this is not me challenging him, but this is just me wanting to showcase my work and get the biggest platform possible for it. So I just want to make a statement, knock him out, submit him, whatever way it comes, so that by the end of the fight, people know I'm Delan Monte from Paraíba, Brazil.
Love that. You said knock him out or submit him. I'm curious. I mean, you've got some submissions, but when you look at his game, is it, hey, let's stay away from the grappling, or do you kind of want to maybe go prove a point with the grappling?
No seu estilo, você tem algumas finalizações, mas enfim, a mentalidade aí para essa luta é de nocautear, finalizar. Como é que você quer provar aí o seu grappling contra o dele? Como é que você vê isso?
Não quero provar nada para ninguém. Eu vim para ganhar. Não quero trocar jiu-jitsu com ele. Eu sei que o jiu-jitsu dele é muito bom. Eu não vou trocar jiu-jitsu com ele. Vou defender as quedas dele, mas também, se for pro chão, eu vou estar preparado. Entendeu? Vou estar preparado para levantar, para subir, e essa luta vai se desenrolar em cima e a minha mão vai entrar, com certeza.
I have nothing to prove to anyone. I don't really have any intention in going to the ground with him and rolling around. I know his high level of grappling. That said, if that's where we end up, that's where we end up. And I have the tool set to work with that, to get back up and to use my boxing, use my kickboxing. This fight's gonna happen while we stand. My hand's gonna land. I'm gonna knock him out.
Awesome. I was gonna say, last thing for me, I guess overall the goal here is it just to get in here and get a win and get used to being in the PFL, or is it to come in here and like make a highlight and make sure people know that you're the favorite?
Qual a intenção aqui? É de pegar, lutar, ganhar, entendeu? Botar seu nome aí no mapa, ou é de, entendeu, chocar o mundo com um grande nocaute e botar seu nome aí nos tops da PFL? Não,
nós viemos para chocar o mundo. É como a gente sabe, na minha equipe a gente trabalha sempre essa mentalidade. Não viemos aqui para brincadeira, viemos para chocar o mundo, para mostrar meu nome, para o pessoal me conhecer, entendeu? Ainda não me conhece, ele só... é o cara que vai lutar com o cara de sapato. Ele é o cara que vai lutar com o cara de sapato. E ele não vai ganhar do cara de sapato. Mas não, isso vai ser diferente. Eu vim para provar isso. Eu vim para mostrar o meu valor. E eu tenho o meu valor. Entendeu? Eu já passei por muita coisa na minha vida. E para chegar até aqui, eu não vim para brincadeira. Eu vim para ser campeão.
This is my mentality. It's the mentality of my gym. We didn't come out here to play and mess around. We came here to shock the world. And this is what I'm going to do. When everyone's talking about this matchup and refer to me, he's a guy that's fighting Shoeface. And by the end of this, they'll remember my name. I've been through a lot of my life. I've had my fair share of struggles, and it's my time now.
I could tell that he's hyped up for this fight. What does he think of Antonio's credentials as far as, how he came up in the ranks and then came into the PFL last year and won, and then now he has to fight him?
Pra ver que você tá animado. O que você acha das credenciais aí do cara de sapato em relação a MMA e ao jiu-jitsu?
Não, ele é muito bom. Isso aí não pode tirar o mérito dele. A gente já treinou junto, eu sei que ele é muito bom, entendeu? Mas eu também sou. Vai ser uma luta de dois caras que são bons, entendeu? E vai ser decidida lá em cima. Ele é um cara muito bom de jiu-jitsu, se não posso negar. Também tem melhorado muito na parte do boxe, tem treinado com o Dória, treinado com o Cigano, mas eu também treino com uns gorilas. Lá no Brasil, em Curitiba, na Evolução Thai, nós treinamos com os gorilas, então eu estou pronto para qualquer coisa. Pode ser o cara do pesado, pode ser o cara de 120 quilos, não interessa para mim, eu tô ali pronto para uma guerra.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta give credit where credit is due. I know his worth. I know he's a stellar grappler. I know he's been working on his stand-up game. He's coached by Coach Doria. He's been working with JDS. He's improving a lot on his boxing. But it's my time. This is a fight between two great guys, and it's gonna get decided in there. I'm ready for whoever it is. You put me up against a heavyweight, a guy that weighs, 120 kilos. I train with gorillas at home, and this fight should be no different.
If he's victorious, will it be a bittersweet win having to do it against a fellow countryman?
Se você sair vitorioso, vai ter um gostinho amargo, considerando que foi contra um brasileiro, uma pessoa que você conhece já há muitos anos?
Não, é como a gente sempre fala, nesse esporte a gente não pode ter sentimento. Não existe sentimento nesse esporte. A gente entra lá dentro para fazer o nosso trabalho. Então não existe sentimento. Eu não sinto gosto amargo em nada. Para mim, a minha vitória é o que importa e é a única coisa que importa. Eu não vou perdendo ou ganhando, eu quero isso, eu quero a vitória.
Yeah, you can't have feelings in this game. This is the mentality I have. You can't really be touchy about this kind of stuff. But all that matters for me is my win. That's all.
Fazendo em português.
Ok.
Só um pouquinho para cá.
Para cá? Beleza. Podemos.
Delan Monte, né?
Isso.
Fala errado. Delan Monte, tudo bom?
Tudo bom, meu amigo, graças a Deus.
Me diz uma coisa antes de eu começar a falar da luta. Esse cheque de $1 milhão que todo mundo está perseguindo, né, para o final da temporada. Já tem planos para ele ter algo em mente que você gostaria muito de comprar?
Cara, é o que eu estava falando também para o Lucas. Eu não penso nem no dinheiro, eu penso mais na glória. Entendeu? A glória de ser campeão do PFL, de mudar o meu nome, entendeu? O dinheiro vai ser uma consequência que vai vir com o tempo. Também, se não valesse $1 milhão, para mim, pouco importava. O que importa é eu estar aqui, eu estar vivendo isso, eu estar vivendo esse clima maravilhoso, eu fazer agora uma luta com o meu conterrâneo cara de sapato. Isso para mim que importa. Dinheiro para nós que somos guerreiros é uma coisa besta, entendeu? Sim, vale, claro, eu quero mudar minha vida, a vida da minha família e tudo mais, mas o que importa primeiro é a glória.
Você faz a sua estreia no evento já com o atual campeão. Vamos balançar isso, já pegar o grande favorito da sua categoria?
Isso é uma coisa que a gente já estava esperando e é uma coisa que eu perseguia isso. Falei várias vezes para o meu empresário Lucas que a gente queria essa luta, porque era uma luta, a luta mais dura, entendeu? Era a luta que ia me levar para algum lugar. Se eu pegasse outro cara, ganhou, tal, beleza, continua. Agora não, se eu ganhar, eles vão me respeitar, entendeu? Eu ganhando, ganhou do campeão, então eles vão me respeitar, eles vão me temer e eu vou ser o próximo campeão do PFL, se Deus quiser.
Certo. Me tira uma curiosidade, vocês se conhecem faz bastante tempo, né?
Sim.
Já chegaram a treinar um pouquinho juntos, como é que foi esse período?
Foi um período muito bom, o cara de sapato é um cara excepcional, muito gente boa. Eu fui para a luta dele no UFC contra o Tim Bolt, lá no Arizona, ele me recebeu, me deu uma camisa para você ver, né? Faça dos seus ídolos seus adversários. Então, para mim, eu sou um grande fã do trabalho dele, mas como eu digo, chegou o meu momento. Esse é o meu momento, essa é a minha hora. Ele já brilhou, agora é a minha hora de brilhar.
Mas como é que eram os treinos?
Sim, os treinos, eu sou faixa preta de judô, ele era faixa preta de jiu-jitsu. Então, ele me ajudava na parte de jiu-jitsu para o judô e eu ajudava ele na parte de judô para o jiu-jitsu. Em parte de queda, de defesa de queda, e ele me ajudava na parte da finalização do judô. eu era da seleção brasileira de judô na época e ele era o mais sinistro do jiu-jitsu brasileiro, entendeu? E a gente era mesmo peso e da mesma cidade. Então é uma coisa tão assim sinistra que chegamos aqui juntos, né? Ele já vem há um tempo mais e eu cheguei agora.
Eu sei que já faz algum tempo, mas você se recorda como eram os treinos com esse? O quão bom ele era já no chão?
Sim, me recordo. Eu sei bem o jogo dele. Por isso que eu também pedi essa luta, porque é um cara que eu conheço. Os outros caras os outros caras do evento, do plantel, eu conheço, mas não conheço tanto como eu conheço ele. Então eu estou tranquilo, porque eu já sei como é que vai ser o jogo, eu sei o que é que eu tinha que fazer no meu camp de treinamento para essa luta, e eu fiz tudo certo e perfeito.
Certo, você já sabe o que fazer. Você pode revelar para a gente um pouco do que você pretende fazer na quarta-feira?
A minha estratégia não tem segredo. Comigo não tem segredo, é chegar lá e fazer. Eu vou defender as quedas dele, vou manter essa luta em pé e vou nocautear, se Deus quiser.
Nocautear, exatamente. Estou vendo pelo seu moletom, evolução Thai, André Dida lá em Curitiba,
Isso.
Né? Como é que tá a mão afiada pelo Dida?
Agora o mestre Dida está em Miami, mas ele sempre passa os nossos treinamentos. Estamos lá com o professor Chris Frolic, que é um mestre na arte da trocação, e o nosso mestre Daniel Acácio, que é um mestre na arte do grappling. Então temos um cara sinistro na parte da trocação e um cara sinistro na parte do grappling. Juntando esses dois, já era. Vai ser sucesso. E essa mão aqui com a soqueira vai entrar daquele jeito.
Show de bola. Recentemente a gente viu grandes nomes do jiu-jitsu, como Rodolfo Vieira e Ronaldo Jacaré, sendo finalizados. Queria que você fizesse uma breve análise do porquê isso tem ocorrido e você acha que isso pode acontecer, se repetir na quarta-feira?
Não, eu acho que na parte do chão não, porque eu sempre vou buscar a luta em pé. Mas eu acho que a parte do Jacaré e do Rodovieira, eles pecaram na trocação, entendeu? Eles ficaram com muito medo da trocação e a parte do gás cansaram. É o que eu acho, é a minha opinião. Eles cansaram e por isso, na hora do chão, foram finalizados.
Show de bola, então. Para finalizar, se apresenta aqui para o pessoal que vai ver esse vídeo no Brasil, no canal da Fight, que eles podem esperar de você, não apenas para essa quarta, mas para a temporada 2022 do PFL.
Fala, galera. Meu nome é Delan Monte, sou paraibano, tenho 28 anos. Estou aqui realizando um sonho em lutar um grande campeonato que é o PFL e vou dar um show para vocês, podem ter certeza, pode escrever aí que não é minha primeira aparição aqui, vai ter muitas e eu vou ser campeão, se Deus quiser, tamo junto. Hey.
Tá, aguenta só um pouquinho, eu vou bater uma foto, por favor. Beleza. E aí eu vou gravar um vídeo para o Instagram desse. Inclusive, só fala o seu nome, estou aqui em Dallas, no PFL. Convido o pessoal para ver sua luta, se quiser. 3, 2...
Fala, Delan. Desculpa, pode ir.
3, 2...
Fala, pessoal. Aqui é Delan Monte, lutador do PFL. Estou aqui em Dallas. Quero que vocês assistam minha luta aí, torçam por mim. Vamos com tudo. Essa luta é nossa.
Obrigado. Parabéns, né?
I'm sorry, not a school. Do you want me to take that off? Maybe?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I don't do work.
There you go. Look, I guess, how would you describe last season, right? Because successful for you, you have a couple results, but didn't get to where you wanted to ultimately go at the end, right? So how would you describe last season?
Yeah, I was able to come back for sure. It was maybe hard not to do the tournament, but I just some people are doing a cartwheel in the back, and I just saw Manfio. And he told me, that's because of you I won $1 million and my family is really happy. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I feel good about myself right now. So maybe I would have choose to win the $1 million instead of Ramcho telling me that I changed his family's life. But well, still nice for him to say that.
And maybe you could say, well, you could change my life a little too, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe cut off a little check.
But the thing is, he was not supposed to do the tournament last year, and the reason why he did it, it's because I got hurt. So yeah, it's and everything was against him. Like I told him, you have the best story for like as a champion. He was not supposed to win. He won. They choose him to fight Anthony Pettis 1 week after. He made to wait twice in 2 weeks. Like it make no sense that he won that tournament, and he did it. And yeah, I'm really happy that he's the one who won it.
That's awesome. So I was wondering kind of what you thought about the concept, right? I mean, if you would be frustrated, like, oh, this tournament thing, it sucks because I got hurt. But it seems like maybe you like the concept, even though it didn't necessarily work in your favor.
Yeah, as an athlete, for sure, it's a pain in the ass. The concept, but I mean, as a fan, I think it's better. I think the show is better because of that. For sure, like some people's gonna have it easier, if you know what I mean, and other people's it's gonna be harder. But I mean, it's part of the show, and there's $1 million at the end of the show. So I think it's a good motivation for anybody, you know. But yeah, for sure, some people are gonna have it easier. Time, I would say.
I guess, how are you feeling? Fresh, you know, it's a new start. You know, I mean, obviously, it's a difficult process for the athlete, but excited. Like, are you taking things different? Making any changes? Are you going to do things differently this time around?
Yeah, I guess so. Last year, I came in, even my first fight against Marcin, I was hurt. I think you guys remember the big elbow I had, and so I think I have to be a little bit more careful with my training camps in PFL, because the first fight I had my elbow, and then the second fight I had the other elbow. So I was kind of like, oh man, I think I need to do like a pretty good training camp the first fight, but then just trying to stay in shape, to stay healthy for the next three training camps. So yeah, I think it's different. I think it's well, it's not great that what happened last year, but I think it's a good experience, you know.
Last thing for me, as you said, you don't have an easy road. A tough matchup right out the gate. I guess, how do you feel about your first fight? How do you feel you guys match up?
I think it's probably for me the most interesting fight. Anyway, in my mind, I think it's a good puzzle, really good puzzle.
What shirt are you wearing?
Oh yeah, Arnold is numero uno.
Are you a fan of Pumping Iron?
You know what it is? But no, that's from my friend Arnold Allen from the UFC. And yeah, he's a big fan of Pumping Iron. And yeah, I don't know. I really like the shirt. I like the little Easter egg too with the shirt. So I had to get two. I got two. People think I always wear the same shirt, which is true, especially this week. But normally I have two shirts back home, and people think that I just have this one.
Hey, Libby, now you talked about Manfio's story being, you know, a really interesting chapter for him and one to watch as a fan, seeing him go from that alternate position to winning the whole thing. The OAM story now has a lot of wrinkles in it, of course, with the context of last season. When you step back and view your journey within the last couple of years as a fighter, I mean, do you see yourself as the underdog and, as some would say, a Cinderella story coming into this season?
No, I don't see myself as an underdog. Even last year, I didn't see myself as an underdog. I think I was actually the favorite last year to win the tournament. Maybe I'm crazy to think like this, but I really think that if I didn't have the -1 point because of my injury, I would have won the $1 million. I think my game is really, really strong in PFL. I think it's going to be the same for this year. I think the level is probably a little bit better than last year this time around, but still, I think we're going to see the same couple of people at the end of the road, you know.
Last one for me. I know that you're a big crypto guy. I'm curious what you make of the future of decentralized currency and the volatility over the last 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, crypto is volatile, you know. I'm more of a Bitcoin guy, but I mean, it's a bet I did. Like I know if I put that in the bank, for sure it's gonna lose 10% every year. So my bet is in 10 years, it's gonna be more than what it is today. Like, I mean, if I just put that in the bank anyway, it's gonna be less, that's for sure. So it's a little bit, and I really believe in Bitcoin right now. I think it's really important. Maybe not for us. Maybe for us, we don't understand how important it is. But some people who are in other countries, they know how important it is. And I think once everybody understands this, it's gonna explode. And this is gonna be the cheval de Troie. How do you say that? The horse, the Troy horse.
Horse of Troy, the Trojan horse?
Yeah, the Trojan horse, exactly.
Is that?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jam. Olivier, still seeking the first finish in the PFL. Is it important for you to put an emphasis on finishing this season?
Not more than normally. I mean, for sure, it's cool to have a finish. It's better, but I think the best is the win. So I think I'm always been like a smart fighter, and it's sometimes you have to take risk, and sometimes you have to take another solution. So I think last year I could have taken a little bit more risk. I think especially in the first fight, I feel I could have finished it. But the thing is, I was coming back from 2 losses. I was not willing to risk it. Maybe it's. I think it was a mistake, to be honest. But I could have maybe pushed a little bit more the second and third round. I think I hurt him so much in the first round. I could have done something after that.
You fought so many great guys in your career. Just curious, is there someone that stands out as the toughest opponent you fought?
Ironically, I think my hardest fight was not the best guy who I fought. So I think one of the fights I really thought was hard for me was Alexander Hernandez, who is clearly not the best fighter I fought. But I think I did everything wrong in that fight, in that training camp, that I was almost fucking dying from a heart attack during that fight. But I mean, I fought Arman at Sarukian, who was really, really good. I think I had a little mistake at the end, would cost me the fight. In the third round, we were going 1-1, and fuck, I really thought I was going to take this one, but I did a mistake that I still dream of. And Gilbert Burns, I mean, I think I could do better than that. I think I was doing fairly well, but every time he was clipping me, and he was taking me down at will. So I think I could have done a little bit better. I'm really happy to fight those guys. They are like good wine, you know. When I fought them, nobody really knew them, and then now one is just fought Kamzat for the biggest fight of his life, and he fought Usman. He fought for the belt for 170, and the other one is probably going to be a top 5 or 155er for a long, long time.
I mean, you just since you mentioned the Gilbert and Hamzat fight, I mean, what do you think of that? Impressive to see Hamzat take those shots.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I actually bet for Gilbert on this one, and I don't know why people thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I think people are just stupid. I think that's my that's what I think. and they were stupid before the fight, and they are stupid after the fight. That's what amazed me. That everybody's like, "Oh, he's not that good, bro." Like, do you remember? Like, I don't know. Let's say Habib and Tibalt. Do we remember that fight? Do you remember that fight?
A lot of people still think he lost.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, and he's still the greatest. I think Habib, probably one of the best fighter at one. He's the best fighter at 155. That's for sure. Like ever. But we just gonna forget about that. Like, and since Kamzat didn't finish Gilbert Burns like that after his fourth fight, we're gonna say he's not that good. Yeah, he's right now he's my favorite fighter, Kamzat. I think he's gonna go really far, and I know a lot of people think after that fight that Usman and Colby can really take him easily. I don't think it's going to be that easy, and I think I give Kamzat some chance too. I think it's a little bit early right now to fight them, but I think Kamzat going to be a world champion at some point.
Do you like this style format the PFL brings, where you know when you're fighting next instead of where in the UFC you have to wait for a matchup and wait to get it approved and everything?
Yeah, I like it, but it's really hard because, well, as you know, it's one fight 2 months, one fight 2 months, one fight 3 months, and then the final. So it's really close, but it's good to know. It's good to know in advance. I think it's better. But for sure, it would be best if we had a little bit more time. But I understand that they want to do one tournament every year, which is understandable. But yeah, I think it's better. It's the first time in my career that I'm able to tell people if I can or can go to their wedding. So it's I guess that's good. I can just tell everybody no.
Is it difficult to train differently? Whereas you fight and you got to wait a couple months and fight again. You have to change, everything that you do. Whereas you had time in 3 weeks for a full training camp.
Yeah. So like I said just before, like the first camp I think is going to be pretty. It's going to be the hardest, but after that you have to be smarter. I don't think you can go all in every camp. I think you have to be physically ready in the first camp and then stay ready in the next couple of camp, because basically what's going to happen is I'm going to have my first camp, which I just did. After this fight, I'm going to have maybe 1 week, 2 weeks off maximum. Big max. If I'm hurt, I'm going to get 2 weeks. If I'm not hurt, I'm going to get 1 week and then 1 more week just to eat everything. But after that, I have to go back to losing weight, and I have to go back to training. So I think, for a long time, I think sparring is overrated. But I don't think I can spar too much during the next 3 training camp. I think I'm just going to do light thing, stay in shape, and stay in shape, but try to improve my shape too, because at the end of the year, I need to do 5 rounds.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
That's it.
That's it.
Yay!
Let me put it here so it doesn't.
Yeah, let's bring it back up. Yeah. So, Shoeface, are you okay admitting that you came in and stole all the candy?
Look at that. There's more people getting it. When I saw before, there is a lot of chocolate and stuff. Now that was what, like 3, so I get the 3 left.
Talk about how it feels, man, walking in a champ. You know what I mean? Like, just give me the idea of what that accomplishment means to you.
Man, it was great, especially after the year before, was a tough year for me. Actually, the 3 years before, I had a lot of injuries, 3 losses. I didn't expect that, I was doing so well, but the injuries doesn't help me, and this coming back was just great, make me believe in myself again, perform better, and training better and living better. Going to 05 was also like the best decision I think I ever made. Going PFL was even better, so feeling great, man. Holding the belt, the million and everything was awesome for me.
That's awesome. I wonder, obviously $1 million is pretty damn important in your life, right? But as you said, to kind of have that belief in yourself again, to show like, no, I can't. Like, yes. Can you say which one means more, the $1 million or the belief in yourself again?
For sure, the belief in myself. If I believe in myself, I can make way more than 1 million. So I just want to prove to myself, because I didn't know what was happening to me. I knew I got talent, I knew I could do it, but wasn't happening. And I think I just had to change some things in my life. Change the division. The organization. Was good at the end. UFC was good in some point for me, but was not at the time. And I think the change that I made was really good. And getting back on, believing on myself was great. When I went to the final, I knew I was going to be the champion.
Very nice. So you come in here a fresh season. What's the feel? Now that like I don't really have to prove anything, or do you feel like you have to prove it? Because you're not the champion right now, or are you? Like, how do you see
it's
it?
not that I have to prove anything, but I want to keep doing it, for myself. I'm hungry for that, I want to keep doing it, I don't want to just 1 belt. I want to 2, 3, 4, how many that I can. And I remember the feeling last year, I want to feel this again, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna work hard for that, man.
Very nice. And last thing for me, I guess, talk about this opening round matchup. Kind of a newcomer, right? I haven't seen a lot of tape on him. I don't know if you have. What do you think about him, and what do you know about him?
Doesn't have a lot of things about him, to be honest. I see few fights. Doesn't have a lot. I think just 2 or 3 in the internet. I know him. He's a very nice guy. He's from my city. Doesn't have a lot of fighters on my city. And we're gonna face each other. We train in the past, but not MMA. Was a very long time ago. He's a judo guy, and I was just a jiu-jitsu guy at the time, and we trained a little bit together. I helped him in the ground. He helped me some takedowns and stuff. But he's a very young guy, with hungry. He also want to be here. He want to prove, make his name, prove that he can do it. So he's always somebody that you need to pay attention.
What was your first purchase after winning $1 million?
Man, I don't remember, but I think it was like a ticket, to see my family and friends, and everybody in Brazil. That was, I think, was the first purchase that I made after the championship.
I saw that you were playing with the Tiger a couple months ago. How was that?
Oh, it was great, man. I went to Thailand. I always have this desire of going to Thailand, train a little bit, train some Muay Thai. I train a lot with he's a Brazilian coach, but he lives there like for 15 years. His name is Leo Elias. He made a lot of champions over there, even the Thai guys, so I train on Tiger, and I train a lot with him, and that improved a lot of my Muay Thai skills. It's something that I didn't use it a lot on the past fights, you know, the kicks and stuff, and I could add it on my game now, you know. I went there because I want to see. I was heard that was like a good environment, you know, was good in everything, you know. So yes, I could say that that is true. You know, Jukan always told me about that. You know, Ron Jukan, he always told me about the training in Thailand. So Marlon Moraes was there. He said, "Man, come on." I said, "Yeah, bro, I'll go." You know, in 2 days I was there. You know, I bought the ticket for the next day, and then I went there and stayed with him. It was a really great experience. I could say that.
So you're already an elite grappler. Now you're working on your Muay Thai. I mean, should the light heavyweights be scared to fight
For
you?
sure, yes. You know, I think you gotta mix it up. You know, it's MMA. You cannot be like just a jiu-jitsu guy or just a Muay Thai guy. You need to mix it up, everything. I think when you mix it up, you make things present itself. You know, even the takedown or the punch or whatever. So just use in the right moment. If you see my last season, I had to strike against a striker. That is Emiliano Sordi. You know, I grapple against grappling. You know, I took the wrestler down. That is Marcin Held. So that is not because I didn't force anything. I just made things happen. You know, making him believe I want to take him down, then strike. Making him believe I want to strike, then taking him down. You know, I think when you do that, you don't force, you don't spend energy, and you know, you need to be smart in this sport.
And finally, for me, there's a new name in the division, Josh Solera. You guys are teammates. Have you guys already talked about possibly fighting?
Yeah, not just him. That is him, and that is Omari. You know, yeah. What is, man? We try not to think about that. You know, we always try to think about the next fight. You know, Omari has a challenge now. I have my challenge. Josh, unfortunately, he couldn't fight because he got a little hurt. You know, he probably gonna fight in the second fight, but we still training together, you know, because we train together. Me, Omar, and Josh, we truly training together. It's not just like we are in the same environment, the same gym. No, we train together, you know. Omar helped me a lot for the final last year. You know, we train together in here, you know, helping each other because I want to see them winning the fights too, you know. And if you gotta face each other, like, we gotta do it, you know. I can't ask them not to fight just because I'm the champion. I was here before. I'm never gonna ask this because, you know what I mean. No, I never ask this. I can't do it because, like, it's his life, you know. He gotta made his life, you know. As I did, he gotta made it, you know. Like last year we had Jay, you know, and we talked before, and we didn't even fight each other, you know. So this might not even happen. So I don't wanna preoccupy, you know, with something that maybe never gonna happen, or if it happen in the right moment, we're gonna talk and, you know, see. But I don't want to think about that now.
Thank you.
No problem.
You mentioned Marlon Rice, and you know, he retired recently. Just curious, are you bummed to see him go? Like, what are your reflections of, you know, watching his career and the good team?
I'm sorry.
Marlon Rice,
The Marlon, yeah, retired.
thoughts on it? Are you bummed to see him go?
Man, Marlon is a very talented guy. You know, I couldn't talk to him yet about that. You know, I think he got a lot to do. I think he still have a lot to do. You know, I don't know what he got in mind. I know after a loss, you know, your mind is not the same. He probably, like, you know, pissed with himself. You know, he couldn't do what I know he can. You know, this guy is very good, man. I know how good he is because I see him training, you know, and sometimes in fight, it's just not your day, you know. You see this happen every time. So after here, you know, I'll talk to him because he was in Brazil too with his family, you know, solving some things over there. And he just came back to US. When I saw the news he was retiring, I said, hey, come on, Marlon. You know, I thought to myself, but we didn't have time to, you know, talk about that, to be honest.
Can you explain really for the people that don't know the origin of Schulte's Cara de Zapato?
Cara de Zapato? Yeah, Cara de Zapato is just joking with Ricardo Vieira. I don't know if you know him. He's you know, the coach of my coach in Jiu-Jitsu. And he likes to put nicknames in everybody, you know, and we start like joking each other. And I said, hey, he got a big chin. And I said, man, it looks like a Egyptian, you know. And he said, look like your face, man, look like a shoe. And everybody, yeah, shoe face, shoe face. So everybody started calling me shoe face. I hate it for sure, you know. And they didn't stop it, you know. And when I see, I was shoe face forever. No problem.
I was hoping if you could reflect on that Thailand experience that you have with the training and the largest differences you think there are between Eastern methods and Western methods of training combat sports.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of difference, to be honest. You know, the difference more like the culture over there is about Muay Thai. So the striking there is pretty strong. You know, you see a lot of Russian guys over there, you know, a lot. There is a bunch of Russians over there. And as you know, Russians very tough guys in martial arts. They leave these that you know, over there I stay in the street, there's a lot of gyms, you know, one is here, the other one is the other side of the street, you know. There's a lot of gyms, you know. And I love the experience, you know what I mean. You just gotta like a motorcycle and go to the beach and whatever, you know. Was a great experience, you know, especially learning the Muay Thai on the, you know, on the place that it born, you know what I mean. So it was really great, but I didn't see actually much difference between like the train that they do over there, like talking about MMA, you know, and about the train that we're doing here. It's pretty much the same, you know what I mean. What changes is the coaches, you know, and the training partners, you know what I mean. But it was a great experience for sure.
I think, of course, a lot of people up here would see 20 fights as a lot, and then in Thailand, guys that have hundreds of fights under their records. I mean, in terms of that differential, do you think that amount of fights, that amount of ring time is a benefit, or does that wear out the body on maybe those fights?
For MMA, I think it's too much, you know. Like if you do a Muay Thai, they don't sport much, you know. I see that, you know, the Muay Thai guys, they don't sport too much, you know. There's a lot of drills and stuff, a light sport and stuff, but not like a hard sport. And I see in MMA, we still do a lot of like hard sparring, you know, and it's not just the fights, the training too, you know. So the time of the fights, you know, Muay Thai is like 3-minute rounds, makes a lot of difference too, but it still is a lot, you know what I mean. I remember when I was a jiu-jitsu guy, I fought a lot, you know, and every fight was 10 minutes, you know, and every tournament I need to make like at least 7-8 fights, you know. But it's a different sport, you know what I mean. I think for MMA it's too much.
Can you talk about the significant changes you've made in your life? Because you look happy, man. You look like a whole different person. You know, obviously winning the tournament last year will do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you racked up those wins in the UFC, and then you dropped 3, and you said you didn't think you would do that. Was it something mentally or physically or things that you had to change?
I changed the division. Was a good change, you know, because now I don't need to live in a tough diet every time, you know. You see the chocolates over here. I'm gonna eat them for sure after the fight, you know. But you know, I think this was a big change for me, you know. Was like the division is like 20 pounds over, you know. I used to fight 185, now I'm fighting 205, so I don't need to cut a lot of weight. I just go like 15. This is easy, you know. 15 pounds is easy, and mentally you gotta make some difference too, you know. But I think what brings it to you is the winning, you know, and the results of the work you've been doing at the gym. So the wins that I had last year, you know, against tough guys, you know, winning the belt makes me believe in myself even more, you know, makes me more confident. And I need that back, you know. I had that in the past, and with the injuries and stuff, I was, you know, looks like that disappeared, you know. I don't know. And it was a very stressful time. And now I don't live this stress anymore, you know what I mean. I live in a really great moment. And I think that it's just the beginning.
And how would you sum up your journey, your career up to this point?
Man, I need to pass for everything that I've been through. You know, even the losses, the injuries, and everything make the guy that I am right now. I think the life always gonna teach you something, and I learned a lot during my whole life. You know, and if you ask me before that happened, I didn't want to pass for everything that I passed, you know, but now I understand everything, you know what I mean? And I really, how do I say, grateful and proud of myself, you know, for everything that I've been through and every change and everything that I made, especially last year. Thank you, guys. Let me get my chocolate here.
Pô,
vamos? Beleza?
Chocolate, não tá gravando. Chocolate você vai guardar para depois?
Pra depois, né? Agora não dá, não. Agora tem que perder esse pezinho.
Bola para demais?
Vamos lá.
Isso é alto, hein, mano?
Fazer assim, ó.
Aí. Show. 3, 2, 1. Fala, galera da G-Fight. Diego Ribas, direto de Dallas, no Texas. Pô, Antônio, cara de sapato. Tudo bom, sapato?
Tudo certo, graças a Deus. Né?
Sapato, vamos lá. Campeão da última temporada, né? A primeira pergunta que eu quero te fazer, que eu vou fazer para todos os brasileiros desse cara. Planos para usar o dinheiro?
Do ano passado?
Desse ano.
Desse ano? Cara, não tenho muitos planos ainda não. Estou planejando investir em mim mesmo, né? Acho que fazer os camps, né? Que é o que eu tenho feito. Acho que eu gastei dinheiro fazendo isso. Né? Como eu falei anteriormente em algumas entrevistas, eu fui para Tailândia, né? Eu fui para Salvador, treinar lá com o professor Dória. Eu tentei mudar um pouco o ambiente, fazer um pouco outras coisas que eu não vinha fazendo, sabe? Melhorar em outros aspectos do meu jogo que eu precisava, que eu sentia que eu queria melhorar, que eu precisava melhorar, entendeu? Então eu investi em mim mesmo, assim, sabe? Não tenho nenhum plano extra aí com dinheiro, não.
O cheque do ano passado, teve alguma extravagância, alguma loucura que você chegou a fazer? Alguma coisa que você queria muito, você comprou?
Cara, não teve muita extravagância, não, né? Eu já tenho um carro legal, tenho uma casa bacana, né, aqui nos Estados Unidos, tenho uma vida boa, graças a Deus. Comprei um relógio que eu gosto pra caramba, então comprei um relógio novo para mim e fiz as viagens, né? Eu acho que foi o que eu mais gastei, foi realmente com viagem, né? Brasil e tentei visitar todo mundo, porque minha família, velho, é dividida, tem família em todo canto, no Rio, São Paulo, João Pessoa, Salvador, sabe, em todo canto eu fui no ano passado e fui para Tailândia agora no começo do ano, então, assim, o dinheiro mesmo eu gastei com viagem, né, e comigo aí com esses camps.
Perfeito. Falando dessa luta, vamos lá, quarta-feira agora, vai enfrentar um brasileiro. Antes da luta em si...
Conterrâneo lá da Paraíba.
Já vamos falar dos treinos de vocês no passado. Mas antes disso, você como atual campeão, seu histórico no UFC, veterano, tem um alvo grande no seu peito, né? Qual a diferença de se preparar para uma temporada sendo campeão, onde todo mundo estudou o seu jogo?
Cara, nenhum. Na verdade, lá no UFC, a gente sempre estudava muito o próximo adversário e a gente sempre teve muito material, né, para estudar. Então, todo mundo que quer lutar comigo no UFC, independente se eu era o campeão ou não, né, com certeza, eles iriam querer essa vitória, então eles iam me estudar dos pés à cabeça, tudo que eu fazia, né, então eu não vejo, assim, uma grande diferença nesse aspecto, né. Todo mundo que vai lutar com você sempre vai querer arrancar sua cabeça, então, né, não tem muito essa questão de ser campeão ou não. Eu acho que a grande diferença é chegar com uma diferença positiva, né? Chegar com essa moral de ser o campeão, né? E com as pessoas sabendo que você é um grande lutador e que principalmente, né, tem poucas brechas no jogo.
Certo. Tem algum detalhe, você mencionou que treinou na Tailândia, mas tem algum detalhe para essa temporada que a gente pode esperar de diferente em relação ao ano passado?
Eu acho que é isso, um cara de sapato ainda mais confiante, né, no jogo. Eu, com certeza, adicionei muitas coisas assim no meu jogo. Eu não mudei meu jogo, né, é muito difícil você simplesmente mudar o seu jogo, mas a gente tenta sempre botar alguma coisa a mais, sempre algo, né, somar. Então, eu quero, né, adicionar mais chute, joelhada, né, um pouco mais de movimentação no boxe ali, mas são coisas que eu vinha trabalhando e que eu acho que eu dei uma intensificada boa nesse off-season aí que eu tive. Então, acho que Esse daí é um aspecto que provavelmente vocês vão sentir mais essa diferença, mas de um modo geral eu tentei evoluir, sabe, em todos os aspectos.
Perfeito. Delan, cara duro, faixa preta judô, que se eu não me engano já faz alguns anos, era antes inclusive de você lutar no UFC, né? Vocês chegaram a treinar juntos, ele te ajudava com a parte de judô, você ajudava ele com a parte de chão. Me conta sobre isso, por favor, e o que dá para trazer de experiência daquele momento para hoje.
Cara, não dá para trazer muita experiência porque eram dois lutadores diferentes, né? O Delan era só do judô na época e eu era só do jiu-jitsu, então a gente se ajudava muito no de kimono, né? Então um cara, meu conterrâneo lá da Paraíba, né? Um cara gente boa demais, que eu admiro, torço muito por ele, pelo sucesso dele, né? Felizmente a gente já caímos de primeira aqui na temporada, mas é um garoto que está, enfim, querendo fazer o nome dele, né? Que quer muito ir atrás dos sonhos dele. E isso é muito verdadeiro, mas eu também quero continuar a minha caminhada. Eu também tenho muitas coisas ainda para fazer na minha carreira e a gente vai ter que lutar, né? Eu espero muito sair com a vitória, mas fora isso eu vou estar sempre torcendo aí também pelo sucesso dele na carreira.
Tem algum detalhe técnico que você pode adiantar para a gente dessa luta em si, a parte da sua estratégia? Óbvio, seu chão a gente imagina, mas...
Eu sempre tento trazer, né, para a minha área, que é o jiu-jitsu, mas tudo depende, né? Eu tento sempre fazer as coisas acontecerem. É uma coisa que eu aprendi muito, que me trouxe muita experiência e bons resultados, é você nunca tentar forçar alguma coisa, você sempre fazer aquilo ali acontecer, né? Você fazer a queda acontecer, você fazer, né, um soco entrar ali, não querendo forçar, mas lutando de uma forma tática, né, estratégica muito boa, entendeu? Para fazer as coisas saírem da mais fácil possível, né? Você vê, ano passado eu tive que, por exemplo, trocar com um cara que era do strike, que foi o Emiliano Sordi, e no final eu coloquei para baixo um cara do wrestling que era muito bom, né? Então, acho que isso daí, nada disso foi forçado. Tudo foi simplesmente a situação aconteceu, né? A gente trabalhou, fez com que aquela situação acontecesse e a gente não desperdiçou aquele momento.
O Delan é um cara muito explosivo. Se eu não me engano, todas as vitórias dele foram por via rápida, ou nocaute ou finalização. E ele estreia no evento. Dá para dizer que talvez a sua experiência no MMA e também no próprio PFL, por já ter feito lutas mais longas, pode pesar a seu favor?
Com certeza, eu acho que essa experiência vai pesar a meu favor, né? Eu acredito que eu devo estar entrando como favorito, sim, né? Mas a gente tem que entrar sempre com muita cautela, como você mesmo falou, ele é um cara muito explosivo, um cara que está com muita vontade, né? Mas isso também pode jogar contra ele se ele se desgastar bastante no primeiro round, tentar uma finalização, um nocaute. Eu sendo um cara experiente, eu vou tentar, claro, evitar isso daí, tentar parar um pouco o ímpeto dele, né? Que eu sei que ele é um cara realmente muito impetuoso, que vai para frente, que gosta da luta. Então, acho que é lutar com maturidade, com seriedade, né? E fazer a tática, a estratégia certa ali para a gente sair com essa vitória.
Prolongar a luta pode ser, então, uma boa ideia para você nessa luta?
Talvez, né? Acho que o importante é a gente não forçar nada, né? A gente tem que ver o que a luta nos apresenta, né? A gente vai tentar fazer de tudo para, com certeza, sair com uma finalização, um nocaute, mas eu acho que você não pode forçar. Acho que você querer forçar demais uma coisa, você termina ficando muito previsível, né? E aí fica muito fácil a sua leitura. Então, eu pretendo ver o que a luta vai me trazer e se tiver oportunidade, obviamente, eu vou tentar uma finalização no nocaute.
Show de bola. Para finalizar, Sapato, manda aquele tradicional recado para os fãs da GFAT que vão ver esse vídeo no Brasil. O que eles podem esperar, não apenas de você nessa quarta, mas na temporada 2022 como um todo?
E aí, galera da GFight, todo mundo que torce por mim, continue torcendo, mandando muita energia. Espero que vocês acompanhem minhas lutas agora esse ano, na temporada de 2022 no PFL. E torçam muito, eu espero trazer muito orgulho para vocês. E é isso, conto com a torcida de vocês, mande muita energia, tamo junto.
Deixa eu só bater uma foto, por favor, pedir para você gravar um videozinho. Você sabe onde vai passar isso no Brasil?
Cara, não sei, velho.
Eu acho que eu estava lendo agora.
Sky Sport?
DirecTV Go.
DirecTV Go?
DirecTV Go, eu nem sabia que existia isso.
Nossa, nem eu, velho.
Saiu do combate, né?
Pô, por que, brother?
Porra. Menor ideia. E Nem vamos falar DirecTV Go, porque eu não tenho certeza. Eu tava lendo
Eu ouvi
agora.
falar Sky Sport pra ver.
Eu sei que do combate já saiu, eu confirmei com ela. Vou pedir então só para você gravar um videozinho falando, eu sou o cara de sapato, tô aqui, PFL, Dallas, convido o pessoal para assistir sua luta. Eu vou gravar um videozinho. 3, 2...
E aí, galera, aqui é o Cara de Sapato, estou aqui em Dallas para o PFL. Próxima luta vai ser agora quarta-feira. Estou convidando vocês para todos torcerem por mim, mandar muita energia positiva. Me acompanhem lá, tá? É isso? Valeu. Obrigado. Vamos lá. See you, brother. Great stuff.
Please.
I thought he was joking.
Nah, I don't see it. He stole them all. Living that light heavyweight life. Stevie, I guess, first of all, welcome back. I guess what's the feeling like right now ahead of this return from retirement, man?
Just fucking buzzing to be back, man. Just it's been a long layoff. So yeah, just buzzing to be back in there.
Nice. Talk about the decision, right? I mean, I know there was a lot of frustration and things going on when you walked away, but I guess the decision to come back, was it an easy one, or was it one you kind of mulled over a little bit?
Yeah, it's a complicated situation, everything that happened. I mean, I signed a new 4-fight contract with the UFC after I beat Michael Johnson. Then my manager Ali was telling me that the UFC were wanting to kind of get rid of me or something. To be honest, even I'm still a little bit confused about it all. But my knee wasn't great back then, so I had a knee issue even before the Michael Johnson fight. I then got matched with Mark Diakese, had to pull out. So yeah, there was talks and maybe going as a free agent and going elsewhere. So that was the plan. I didn't really want to, and then eventually decided to go as a free agent. Then COVID hit. It was pretty hard to get a fight and sign with a new company. So yeah, I mean, there was never, I wouldn't say I was wanting to retire at all. It was an emotional decision. I was just kind of like, fuck the sport. I'm done, because of what happened with the UFC. Yeah, and now I'm finally back.
That's awesome. I'm curious, because I can tell you were frustrated with the sport at the time, but did you keep training? Were you still a martial artist, in hiding or whatever? Or were you like, dude, I don't want anything to do with it?
Yeah, this is my life. So, I mean, because it was one of those ones, I was, emotionally retired. A couple of days went by, weeks maybe, and I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do now? It's the only thing I've done for the last 12 years. And it's all I'm good at. How else am I going to make some good money? But yeah, and then I kept busy. I've done since my last Johnson fight. I mean, the Paddy Pimlet match was just before that. And then I went on Polaris again against Craig Ures, a high-level judo guy. I beat him. So I've still been able to stay active and in the, it'll be 2.5 years since I've fought when I walk out on Wednesday night, but I've still had that going out in front of the cameras, the stage. Just know the punching part, but.
Knowing your frustrations with everything, was the PFL an ideal format? The idea that I know I'm fighting then, I know I'm fighting then, I know I'm fighting then. I mean, is that incredibly appealing to you?
Yeah. So far, I mean, I'm incredible. I'm so what's the word? The way it's run, it's just so professional. I feel like PFL are going to be doing huge things. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It wasn't so big in the UK, but now they've just signed the Channel 4 deal. So I'd imagine, they're going to start really getting the UK fan base. And yeah, to be honest, it just feels, the same like when I was with the UFC. And like you said, I know I'm fighting on Wednesday night. I know I'm fighting June 17th. I know where it is. I know what. I don't know the second opponent yet, but
yeah, it's pretty good, and I like the point structure. Sometimes in the UFC, I feel like I had some boring fights because I just wanted to win, keep your job. Whereas the PFL structure, you get more points for finishing the fight early. So I feel like it's going to bring out the old Stevie Ray a bit, where I'm going to come out and try and take them out.
That's Stevie fucking Ray.
That's
right?
That's Stevie fucking Ray.
And I guess last thing for me, I mean, ideally for you, what's the goal here? I mean, is it just to come in? It's like it's been a long time. It's to go in and just get comfortable and get used to the timing and that sort of thing, or is it like, yeah, let's go in and let's get an early finish, let's rack up them points,
Like some people would like to go in, get 3 rounds, get a feel for it. Fuck that. I do that every week in the gym. I mean, I'm prepared to do that. Like sparring. Yeah, I suppose the only difference I feel from fighting and sparring is the crowd. It's the crowd, the cameras, it's all in your head. The fighting part, I do that every week in the gym. So if I had to choose, it would go in there, fucking punch him once and knock him out, or get a submission or whatever. But yeah, first round stoppage, I would ideally want.
Hey, Stevie. First off, happy 7th birthday to your daughter, Mila. I was curious about your son, Lyle, his MMA development these last several years. As a father, how does it feel seeing him get deeper into this training?
So Lyle, he's not so serious with the training. He comes now and again, trains along with me, but he's more into football or soccer. So yeah, I've not really pushed him to train. When I started training MMA when I was 19, and then when I was 25, I made it to the UFC. I never had any fighting experience before that, apart from maybe fighting in the street. But so yeah, I'm just gonna let him do his thing. If he wants to play football, if he wants to train MMA, if he wants to eventually fight, I'll let him decide. And yeah.
Lastly, for me, with obviously Paul Craig winning in big ways, how does it feel as a fellow Scotsman seeing him succeed?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, me and Paul had our beef before he was in the UFC. He said some jokes. I don't know whether it was jealousy at the time or whether he was just a bit of a prankster. But there were some things that was family related. He mentioned my kids and shit. So I didn't take too well to that, as you would. But that being said, we've kind of swept it under the table. And yeah, it's cool to see him doing well. It's just crazy how he gets it done. It's like the game plans to go in, get beat up, and then pull off the triangle. But hey, it's working. He's had so many bonuses, and yeah, he's doing well. So wish him all the best.
So Stevie, do you believe in ring rust? Because we see a lot of fighters that spend a lot of years on the sport, then return, and it's like never they left for So for you, do you believe in ring rust or not?
I need to watch what I'm saying if my wife watches this interview, but just they're not needed, I suppose. But you never know. Maybe it will spike the testosterone a bit, seeing a bit of boobies before you go in the fight. It's just kind of been a thing that's been there forever. So why not? Yeah.
So talking about the format of the league, for you, you now will look for to finish the fight early or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to obviously go in there and rush anything, do anything silly. I'm going to take my time, but yeah, it's different to before. I mean, I'm going to try and knock him out from the minute I get in there now, because I know that I'm sure if you win 2 fights by decision, it doesn't mean you're going to make it to the playoffs. So it really depends on how the other fights go. So yeah, there's that little bit more encouragement to obviously try and get a stoppage. I'm going to try and knock him out or submit him in round 1. If I didn't do it in 1, I'm going to try it in 2. If I do it in 2, I'll do it in 3. And if I win by decision, then cool, I'll take that. But I'll be looking for the finish.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Steve.
Is that me? Done?
You're good? Yeah, all
cool,
good.
man.
Thank you,
Good to
bro.
see you, lads.
Good to see you as well, man. Happy to have you back.
How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Jeremy, I mean, sorry.
Alex,
Don't know, that's my man out of the main event right there. I'm sitting around waiting for it. Good. All right. I mean, you've been doing this a long time, but 15 years, a fresh start, man, a new place. I guess just what's the emotion like for you right now?
Man, it's been a year, bro. A lot. Me and my buddy were talking about keeping the horse in the stable, just kind of keeping things relaxed. I feel like I've been like, man, I need to be doing more. Just kind of just winding things down, just pulling back the burners a little bit, and come Wednesday, 420, baby, we fired up.
You've done this as much as anybody, right? But I mean, like new faces, new people, new systems, new all that stuff. Like, I don't know, what's it like? Is it in some ways I can see it being a little reinvigorating, maybe a little bit weird? What's it like for you?
Yeah, I'm a Gemini, man. So we like new things, and coming around here, meeting new faces and the PFL family. It's been incredible. A smile on their faces. Things are a lot more relaxed. You can just kind of focus on the fight and don't have to worry about too much, and they make it easy for you. So it's exciting. Like I said, it's been a year and it's a long time coming. I can't wait to go in there and do my thing.
By the way, the 420 fired up joke, it was solid.
Yeah. Oh, you caught that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, I know you could have gone anywhere, right? Everybody's going to bid for your services. Why was it the PFL? Why was the spot like this is a spot that makes sense?
Player for life.
Prepared today, man.
Come on, man. I've been doing this a long time, dude. This is a walk in the park.
Brought in right away, headliner, first event. I mean, did you kind of expect that, or did that even surprise you a little bit? Like, man, they're putting me right up at the top right away.
Yeah, I didn't really expect anything. No expectations coming in, but headliner. I've been a top tier athlete for 2 decades in the sport, and I've been putting it down long time, multiple different knockouts, and one of the most entertaining, exciting guys in the world. So yeah, why the fuck not?
I kind of wondered if maybe you want to just come in and fly under the radar a little bit and just settle in, but you welcome that.
That's not my style, baby. I like to lay low, keep things calm and cool, collected. But when I get inside that octagon, little heathen comes out, and people are shouting. I've excited crowd since I've been 16 years old, fighting at this type of a level. And even before then, my classmates like, ooh, when I've been hitting people. So I like that. I thrive off that. I thrive off that type of crowd. But until then, it's all tranquilo.
Knowing that the matchup that you have with Clay Collard, I mean, if you could have picked anybody in the division, is that the one? This is perfect.
Yeah. That's a great matchup. I feel like he's the number one guy. Honestly, I feel like he probably could have won that tournament, and that's a great matchup. He ain't going to be running around. He's going to be right there for me. So hey, that's what we want.
Nice. Last thing for me, obviously, the goal here. It's a season now, right? But at the same time, I know you like to go and entertain people and put on devastating knockouts. So it's just let's just come in and get a win and get used to the new place? Or is it bro, we're on ESPN, let's go get something devastating?
Bro, I'm like the Joker, bro. I have no plan. I just do things, and the way I do things is very violent, very destructive, and in your face, vicious cardio and action packed. And people are going to tune into that. That's just my style.
It's going to be the first time that you're going to be outside of the UFC in 15 years, which is crazy. Looking back, man, I guess, what would you say of your UFC career, and was there just one special moment throughout the 15 years?
There's a lot of special moments in that 15 years. I can't really just and I'm still going, man. I think when it's all said and done is probably the time I'll start to kind of look back and reflect damn, that was fucking crazy. But it's all been great. It's this new opportunity is actually what's exciting me. It's here, it's now, and I plan on making a huge statement come Wednesday. And also, I wanted to tell you too, rolling back, Yellowstone in 1883 are my TV shows. You kind of that was the only one that kind of caught me off guard, And I was like, what, Yellowstone in 1883? That's good stuff right there. I don't know if you've seen that.
Fantastic TV shows.
Yeah.
TV shows. And then I guess finally, just when you left the UFC, I guess what were the emotions like? You were there for 15 years, right? And you're coming to a new promotion. What were the emotions like?
Man, I could sit here and tell you a story, but that's not my job. It's been a lot. This has been a long road. The 2 years, my last fight leading up to that, things that had happened in between there, it was just an all emotional roller coaster. And now I just feel like it's towards the end of the ride, I can get off, I can go to a new roller coaster and make some new excitement.
And then finally for me, Jakar Close fought this past weekend. There's been a lot of talk about you and pushing. I was wondering if you got to see his fight at all.
No, congrats to Jakar Close, man. You know, I imagine with everything that we've been through and all the chaos and people misquoting me and all that shit, you know, I wish nothing but the best for him. He went there, he got his win, he battled through a lot of shit that he'd been going through, and I have nothing but respect in him going forward. I hope he goes in there and just kills it and crushes it and gets to the top.
Jeremy, I know that alliance is kind of not really a thing anymore, which is unfortunate, of course.
Who told you? You got your facts wrong, player.
That's what Phil said. Phil Davis told me that.
Phil's on the other side. Yeah, he's my boy, but he don't train there. He's a big dude. He don't train with the little guys.
Setting the record straight. I was going to ask them, like, how has training been in terms of, I guess it's all normal, no shuffling up, like he said. Hey,
no, you know, there's up and down San Diego, bro. If you ever been there, there's coast after coast. You can hit a little shopping center mall and find some good jiu-jitsu up in there. So it's been incredible. We've cross-trained with Game Bread, Atos, Andre Galvao and his guys. I have a lot of good grapplers, a lot of big guys. Trained with Justin Flores, Nicky Piedmont. You know, anywhere I go, I've been established around San Diego. So I have a tremendous amount of guys, teams that I can pick from. I'm not one of those guys like, oh, I just stay over here, train there. I'm like, nah, you want to train? You know, I'm one of them older guys around San Diego. Like, hey, dude, you guys want to train with the best, be around the best? Like, this is it. Like, let's train. Like, let's get these young, hungry, up and coming guys. But you know, some of them, most of those guys in San Diego, I'm gonna call you out. You guys kind of stay to one side. But there's a few guys like Game Bread and them guys. We cross train together, and bigger guys. They come support me. Herman Torrado and James Lynch. A lot of good young talent coming out of there that we get to mix it up with and have some fun. You know, like I said, Andre Galvao is a grappling that I'm always into outside of fighting that I'm going to. So San Diego is just a beautiful place for martial arts. I feel like it's the Mecca.
You training with Dom for this camp?
Oh yeah. He's been around, man. It's good to have Dom in that atmosphere. You know, he's always there. He's training now. He's healthy, and it's been good to kind of get back with him. This past like year or two that he's been in the gym, it's been a different feel, and things are picking back up. So maybe Phil needs to take a little ride on the back of the old express train there. You know.
I mean, is it inspiring? I know you guys are good friends, but inspiring to see, you know, the journey, everything he's been through, and now back on a winning streak for the first time in you know.
Yeah, he's a fucking world champion, man, and you know he only lost because he took a fight on 5 weeks' notice, coming off injuries. I don't really know. That's some fucking balls on the kid, you know. And Dom's just a good dude, bro. He's my brother, you know. He's just a tremendous guy, tremendous athlete. The way he inspires and reaches out and touches people, you know, he's saved my life more than once, and you know I'm very happy to call that dude my brother.
Hey, Jeremy, so you talked about this with Iron Minds recently celebrating a year of sobriety. Congrats on that. I was curious if you could maybe give some words of encouragement to people that are still struggling with their vices and aren't able to battle those demons effectively right now.
Yeah, just never give up. Be vulnerable. Reach out. Talk to somebody. Use communication. You know, reach out. Talk to people. You know, reach out to when you're inspiring athletes or somebody that maybe touched your heart. You know, reach out to those people. Read books. Put yourself in a positive environment. You know, and if those friends ain't adding to your life and they're subtracting, you need to cut them off. You know, get around the ones that are going to lift you up, pick you up, always be there, and never give up, man. Never give up.
And I was curious, I know that crew was promising some sushi, maybe some jeans. Did you get that at some point in time after that?
Oh, yeah, my boy owns that spot. Yeah, so anytime I need some sushi or some jeans, it's always there. So I might spill some soy sauce, so, you know.
Thank you. When you went to the PFL, is it like a new big dog in the yard? Not new, but, you know.
No, it's same shit, man. It's another fight on the playground, bro. And Clay wants it, so Clay's gonna get it. That's really it. You know, there's no UFC, PFL, bro. It's all the same. The only thing is like what I realized is when I went and cornered somebody before I ever fought in UFC, I was like, there's no difference. It's like a fight in the playground. They just put a camera in your face, and people are gonna be there to support you and cheer for you, and chance for you to bring up your platform and where you come from and everything that you've been through to kind of like just, I mean, you guys make us, you know, so thank you guys for allowing me to come here, speak my mind and inspire people, piss people off, whatever it does, you know, it still creates that noise. And then you get to go out there and just do you, you know, and no one knew who the fuck I was when I was a young kid in Iowa, growing up in the shelter, struggling, seeing my mom go through addictions and shit like that. So it's like, now I get that to be that voice. Like you said, like I took almost like 10 and a half months of sobriety, making changes, kind of growing. I mean, I imagine this guy seen me when I was like, really, I would barely even talk to the camera. I wouldn't even give interviews. I would just tell people to fuck off. Like, that's just kind of who I was. And it kind of, once I kind of got through past those like insecurities and like able to tap into this, this, like it's a platform, man, to go out there and speak from the heart and inspire people. And that's kind of something like in my passion I really like to do. You know, it may seem like I'm a crazy guy, but I really enjoy, you know, I speak to little kids a lot. I'm always donating, giving time, donating to the shelters. And I do all types of shit that I don't go filming and all that. I just kind of do that from my heart. And, you know, like people get a chance to kind of see me like, wow, that guy made it, you know, and like hearing his story, like, fuck, he went through that. He did this, like, and if he can make it, I can make it.
Jeremy, you have any prediction for this fight?
Violence, brother. Violence.
Any message for the people from Mexico that follow you everywhere you go?
Yeah, gracias. Gracias por el apoyo.
Good. Awesome. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
It is a different Jerry Stevens these days, bro. I do remember the days when you were like, fuck off. That's everybody.